The movie that won't die is alive again. Yes, Masters of the Universe is still on the table, and it seems to have found a director as well as a new home in Travis Knight and Amazon MGM Studios. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. With that out of the way, let's get into this over here at thatparkplace.com. Do you have it bookmarked yet? You should. We have a new report from Deadline's Justin Kroll, who shared, quote, sources tell Deadline Travis Knight is in final negotiations to direct this Masters of the Universe film. He added, insiders say his deal has still not closed. At that, other elements on the project are still coming together, but all signs are pointing to Knight being the top choice to direct. If you're unfamiliar with Knight, he directed the Transformers spinoff Bumblebee, as well as Kubo and the Two Strings. He was also the lead animator on Coraline, Paranorman, and the Box Trolls. I'm not really familiar with any of his animated work. I did watch Bumblebee, and I came home less than impressed. The only thing really good in that film, to me, was the opening sequence where we actually got to see the Transformers on Cybertron. Everything else just didn't really inspire me. Obviously, I like the designs of the Transformers and everything like that, but the story and narrative and everything like that just really did not appeal to me whatsoever. And I felt like it made a mockery of Bumblebee. They really tried to like take that scene from the original Transformers where they're hiding. They're trying to hide outside on the lawn, and it's ridiculous because they're giant robots trying to hide next to a building, and they try to do that, replicate that in Bumblebee, where he's like hiding in the house and all this stuff. And there's lots of narrative issues with it as well. People have gone over this in depth more than I can, but pretty much the only way like the villains actually find him is because he makes a mistake and like engages like the power grid. It's all kind of about like, well, this happens, so then this happens, instead of maybe them actually hunting him down, finding a way to get to him, and anything like that. It was just, I don't know. There's a lot of problems with that film. Regardless, this is who they have on deck for their Masters of the Universe film. On top of Knight reportedly in negotiations to direct the film, Kroll also shared that the film's script will be rewritten by Chris Butler. Amazon MGM Studios is said to also be in negotiations to acquire the rights to produce the project. The project has been in a number of homes. It was, I think, originally was at Sony, and then back in 2022, it moved to Netflix, and then Netflix decided to pass on it after some budget issues. And now it's looking like Amazon MGM Studios are trying to grab it. We did get a significant synopsis from Kroll about the film. He says it revolves around when Prince Adam was 9 years old. He crashed to Earth in his spaceship and was separated from his magical sword, the only link to his home on Eternia. I don't really like that. That's very close to Superman. Why can't he just be on Eternia? I don't know why he has to be on Earth. I don't really like that. Maybe my history on He-Man isn't as fresh as it should be. Maybe that is part of his story, but I always remember him just being on Eternia. I don't remember him ever kind of coming to Earth or anything like that. Kroll then added, after tracking it down almost 2 decades later, Adam is whisked back across space to defend his home planet against the evil forces of Skeletor. But to defeat such a powerful villain, Prince Adam will first need to uncover the mysteries of his past and become He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. So again, I don't really understand why he even needs to be on Earth. Why not just have it set on Eternia? I think if you read this first issue of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe #1 from 2012, I think it has an actual pretty interesting start point where He-Man doesn't know who he is. He's just Adam, and he's like a woodsman, and he's got an axe, and he's being hunted down by Beastman, who was obviously sent to kill him by Skeletor. And the attack actually kind of jump starts Prince Adam finding out that he is indeed He-Man and leading him down that path. He's having visions and dreams and things like that. I actually kind of like that idea. If you're going to do, it's very cinematic, and I think that works better than what they're saying here. And it is similar, but you get rid of all the Earth stuff, the parallels with Superman and all that stuff. I don't really think that just seems superfluous, and you don't really need that. But anyways, as I said before, this film has been in development hell for years. The last big news was that it was scrapped at Netflix due to an inflated budget. Variety's Matt Donnelly reported at the time. Insider said that close to $30 million has already been spent on development costs and the cash that's been shelled out to hold on to talent, like previously announced lead Kyle Allen and the film's heat-seeking directing duo Adam and Aaron Nee. Other knowledgeable sources estimate all-in costs for development at twice that figure. Donnelly later declared the latest implosion at Netflix, according to 5 individuals' knowledge of the project, was over budget concerns about the film. Before Netflix decided to scrap the project, actor Noah Centineo, who played Atom Smasher in Black Adam, was attached to play He-Man when it was expected to be produced by Sony Pictures. He was recast with, as we said earlier, West Side Story's Kyle Allen taking on the role. Along with Allen taking on the role, Mattel Films producer Robbie Brenner then confirmed that it was moving from Sony to Netflix. She says, with our partners at Netflix, we look forward to showing audiences that anything can happen in Eternia. We are continuing to unlock this global franchise in new ways, and we can't wait to see Kyle battle it out with Skeletor in this epic live action saga. Seemingly implying there might be more than just a movie, might be a television series and things like that, or multiple films, etc. Obviously, none of that came to fruition. We did have the film's producers at the time, Todd Black, Jason Blumenthal, and Steve Tisch, revealed in a joint statement they've been trying to get this film made for 14 years. Probably a little bit longer than that now, right? Add 2 more years. We're at 16 now. Their statement said, we've always been inspired by the fantastical world of Eternia. This movie has been 14 years in the making for us and our partners, and we are so excited to tell an entirely new story for Masters of the Universe with the Nee brothers and Dave Callahan for Mattel and Netflix and share it with a global audience. Entirely new story sounds like an absolutely terrible idea. Stick to meat and potatoes is what they should be doing. When you want an adaptation, it needs to be meat and potatoes. I don't understand why these companies have not learned this yet. Netflix should have learned this. Obviously, One Piece being the biggest example there after their utter disasters with other anime to live action adaptations, as well as the Witcher adaptation, completely shedding that audience after clearly massive amount of interest in it, especially coming into season 1. And then the idea that they had Dave Callahan writing the script was also a huge red flag. That's the guy who wrote Wonder Woman in 1984. He's attached to another of other like absolute just stinkers at the box office. He probably should not be working on scripts anymore, given his track record. But nevertheless, he was going to be working on it, but obviously no longer. We did have that report from Deadline. Where do we go back up here? Already, Mr. Chris Butler is going to be the scriptwriter now. I'm not actually familiar with him, so I'm gonna have to do some research on him moving forward. So Callahan was not the first one to write the script. Obviously, when it was at Sony, you had scripts written by Art Markham and Matt Holloway. And then David Goyer also worked on a script when it was at Sony. This is what he told The Hollywood Reporter in 2021 about what he worked on. He says, what I liked the most about it was that it was mostly about a friendship between He-Man and Battle-Cat. The idea was there had always been He-Men and different recipients of the Sword of Power, and that Battle-Cat had always served at their side. That's an utterly stupid, ridiculous idea. No thanks. That means they're just trying to pass it down, probably going to try and do some race and gender swaps and things like that. Obviously, I don't think that was like with the casting, they seem to maybe eschew that because they had Noah Centineo and Kyle Allen, and they do kind of look like He-Man, but maybe that wasn't the plan in 2021, right? He then continued and said, and this was a new He-Man and Battle-Cat, and many people didn't think was worthy of the sword. So it was a story of the character earning the sword, but more importantly, earning the friendship of Battle-Cat, who just thought this guy was lightweight. I really liked it. I thought it was a fun story. There was a lot of humor in it, and it creeps up on you because Battle-Cat sort of grudgingly accepts him, and it's Battle-Cat's acceptance of He-Man that gave this version of the story heart. Again, I don't really like this idea either. From what I understand, I get that sometimes Prince Adam in his Prince Adam form is depicted as like maybe like cowardly or not worthy of it. But I always felt that was a ruse that he was putting on to hide his identity. And the idea that they're actually trying to embrace that idea is just utterly stupid. And again, why can't we have characters that actually do heroic things and are always doing heroic things? I mean, we have Captain America. He's widely successful. He continues to fight no matter what. Even how many punches he takes, he's going to continue to fight. It doesn't matter. Why can't we have more characters like that? Instead, they always have to go like, these characters aren't really worthy, and they have to go through all of these ridiculous trials that put them through the ringer in order for them to be worthy. I'm just sick of that kind of trope that Hollywood has run over the past, half decade or so. So hopefully that is not what this new movie will be about, but we'll see. But let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, but to always speak the truth.